Hello, my name's Cameron Asgarizadigan and you're watching another episode of Cam's Camera Talk. For a rare change, I opted to go watch this film in 3D and get a load of this. I can now see the world in 3D. But you aren't here to hear about my super awesome shades. You're here to hear about the walk. Here it is. So The Walk is a film brought to us by director Robert Zemeckis of the Back to the Future trilogy and starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt. First off, this film isn't really what I was expecting it to be. It's a pretty creatively shot film. By this I mean the transitions used are a lot more interesting than just sort of regular cuts, and the way the story is presented itself just differs than most stories are told. However, it really works for the film that you're watching. When I saw the trailers and heard about this film, I thought it was going to be quite serious, but that's actually not the case. It's the opposite. This film is actually really fun, and from the way it's done, it can be enjoyed by anyone. Kids, adults, old people, everyone is going to find something that they enjoy in this film. The lead character, Philippe Petit, is played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I remember seeing Levitt's film 50/50 and he was really great in that film. So I'm now happy to see him get bigger roles in Hollywood and actually lead films that are quite big. Philippe's a really good character. I mean, he's charming, he's funny, he's a really likeable guy. And this film is about him chasing his dreams, and I always love it when people chase their dreams. Throughout this film he does have a few dickish moments, however he redeems himself a lot of the times and he's still a guy that you're going to root for. There were a few occasions when I felt JGL's performance was a little bit overbearing, but this was the case for quite a lot of the actors on this, so I think it was just a director's choice. But for the film that this actually was, I think it worked quite well. Okay, so now let's talk about the accents. JGL's French accent in this is like the one you use when you're trying to impersonate a stereotypical French person. The only way that he could have been more French was if he had a cigarette and was eating a baguette. But it doesn't stop there, because even when we get to America, now everyone has that stereotypical New Yorker accent. The rest of the ensemble played their parts pretty well, but didn't really shine for me. So JGL's having this love affair that's really prominent in the first half of the film, but it sort of goes away a little bit in the second half of the film. Personally, I didn't think it was alright in the first half of the film, but I felt it slowed down the pace a little bit. There was something in this film which just didn't really work for me, and things I've heard as well of other people who've seen this film have said that it didn't really work for them either, and it's a pretty prominent thing that goes on. JGL has these moments where he just breaks the fourth wall and starts talking to us as an audience about what's going on and what's about to sort of happen next. It would be just like randomly in one of my reviews, I just did this. Hey, it's Cam here. Just doing the review, but I hope you're enjoying it right now. Just thought I'd let you know that I'm talking more about the film in a little bit, and also I've got a new reviewing system in place. A little later on, but yeah, I'll let you get back to the review now. Exactly, that was weird, yet this is a review where I'm actively breaking the fourth wall to talk to an audience. However, in this film, for the rest of the film when JGL's not doing this, it's just a regular film. He's interacting with the other characters, he's not aware he's in a film. So it felt really out of place. So personally, having this element in the film made it feel just a little bit disjointed. I think if you could have taken it out and maybe replaced it with just a simple voiceover or just added extra lines of dialogue, it would have worked and made the film flow a little bit better. The first half of this film introduces us to the character of Philippe. It makes us understand his goals and what he wants to achieve. However, I felt the first half dragged on just a little bit. I wanted them to kind of hurry up and just get to America. The second half of this film is where it really picks up. That's where it begins his ascent to the top of the tower. This is a really good story and it's executed really well. This was a really fun, charming film, and if you're looking for something light-hearted, then I definitely recommend this film to you. Before I rate this film, I am going to announce that I am changing my rating system. When I first started doing this, I'd seen that other YouTubers doing a similar thing had opted out of giving a number rating to a film, and I never really understood it until I started doing these videos myself. Now I'm having friends talk to me and say things like, "Oh, you rated that way too high," or the opposite of, ooh, that was a little bit low mate, you're a little bit harsh there. Or you'd have people assume that I enjoy one film more than another just because I gave it higher film rating. It doesn't really work that way because there's so many aspects to a film that it's difficult to just give it a solid number rating. And people hold these numbers as gospel, but it shouldn't really be held as gospel because it's just that these videos need some kind of closure. Films really should just be judged on my words and not just the number that I give it. So I've now decided to rate things on a thumbs up and thumbs down basis. It's a lot more simple and a lot more easy. So with all that being said, I'm going to give The Walk a single thumbs up. Anyway, I hope you've liked what I've brought for you today. If you have, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter at Cam's Camera Talk. There's a link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Says he'll never trust him or work with him again. Then about 6 episodes later, Oliver worked with Malcolm again.